Hi all, so today we're taking a look at Call of Duty Advanced Warfare multiplayer. Now, much has changed in the world of Call of Duty this year, but a lot is still very much the same, as I'll come on to later on in this review. So what's changed first of all? Well, the addition of the exosuits allowing for vertical traversal of the maps, updated maps that now allow for that vertical traversal, and, well, generally a complete retuning of what Call of Duty is all about. Now there are some strange things here, a kind of disparity between the single player and multiplayer aspects of the game, namely in the way the grenades work, and I found it quite a jarring experience to be honest with you. I don't know why they couldn't have just picked the multiplayer way grenades operate and put that into the single player. It would have felt a little bit more cohesive. What we kind of have here is, in the single player game, you have to select your grenade and then select the type of grenade you want to use. In multiplayer, you just pick the grenade you're going to take in with you and there's no faffing around. It all seems a little bit, well, silly really in my opinion. They should have just made that cohesive. Now the gameplay itself is very much Call of Duty. If you're going into this expecting to find a radically different game because of that double jumping mechanic, forget about it. Really, all that double jumping mechanic gives you is more height from which to fight from, and potentially faster ways to move around as well. Although, as I found when I was playing, at no point does Call of Duty attempt to really break the mould in the slightest with its multiplayer combat. The same issues still exist. It's impossible to really play this game tactically. Really, you are a headless chicken running around hoping to shoot somebody before they shoot you. People are not bullet sponges in this game. In fact, realistically, everybody is just a weak little kitten, and if bludgeoned quickly enough with a butt of a rifle, you're going to die. Everything in this kind of game feels like it's Call of Duty, exactly as we've had it for the last 10 years or so, and that's not a good thing in my opinion. I really do feel like Call of Duty needed to reinvent itself this time, not just adding one new twist of a mechanic, but actually going back to the formula and saying, well, hang on a second here guys, this has become really stale and predictable now. When they've added this new game mechanic, it kind of adds something to the gameplay, but it doesn't radically reinvent it. Now, you could say that obviously is what the COD fans are looking for, something more, but something still the same. But actually, I think after 10 years of this very, very stale mechanic of run, shoot, die, 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 we really should have had something more from Activision this time. An opportunity, if nothing else, in some of the game modes to change things up a little bit. Now there are a wealth of different game modes available, including some new ones like Uplink and Momentum, and they do add a certain extra flavour to the game, but because of the underlying way the damage is dealt out and you take it and you die, it doesn't really lead to a more fun experience. The game still feels frustrating. You can go through an entire match and find that you basically can't kill anybody because of, well, insert bizarre reason here. It's too early in the morning, it's too late at night, there's lag. You're just sucking that day, and it doesn't really seem to have a middle ground here. You either can have a fantastic round or you can have an absolutely atrocious one. Now the graphics are fantastic. It does feel unlike previous Call of Duties. There's been no downgrade here substantially. Now I can see some slight tweaks in the lighting model, for instance. It does feel a little bit more simplified in the multiplayer in comparison to the single player, but it doesn't feel like a major downgrade, and you have to look pretty hard to see it. Call of Duty's weapons, perks and upgrades are there in spades as always, but I never really felt any of the guns were particularly brilliant in my opinion. There wasn't really the variety there to make me kind of go, ooh wow, what a great range of guns. There's also still that same old Call of Duty problem where people with a sniper rifle can apparently kill you at point blank range with a simple twitch shot. It's completely unrealistic. You also can then see the similar kind of things happening with people jumping through the air, shooting you with a sniper rifle whilst descending. It's unrealistic, but then Call of Duty has never been exactly realistic for a very, very long time. It just makes me feel like Call of Duty has come so far away from that original formula in some respects that the strategy, the kind of camaraderie of playing with your friends is kind of being lost a little bit here in, well, what could best be described as I'm going to shoot you with a sniper rifle at point blank range whilst I'm moving very fast and jumping sideways. It just doesn't make sense, and you see this time and time again with a lot of the different guns. Unfortunately, at the moment, assault rifles feel like they are just too powerful, pretty much being the I'll kill anything from across the other side of the map just by tapping a couple of times. There seems to be a slight tuning issue here on some of the guns. Now, I'm afraid the networking code is still abysmal. There is still far too many times when you will walk around a corner and die, because someone else walked around the corner a fraction of a second quicker than you did. It doesn't really make sense, and again, these are the kind of networking problems that we should have banished by now in multiplayer gaming. Certainly within first-person shooters, we've had a long enough history to get to the bottom of that particular problem, and really it all comes down to the networking code. At the end of the day, the predictive code that decides where you are relative to another player at the point where the gun battle starts, it's not really as accurate as it should be. Put together with the way that matchmaking works, and you kind of have this situation where the person with the worst lag is probably going to do the most damage on a map, in my opinion. Just because you have a really low ping doesn't unfortunately mean the network code is going to be on your side. Now, it might sound like I'm moaning a lot about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare here, but really I'm just trying to highlight what hasn't really changed that much. There is a fantastic game here, and I have had an absolute wealth of fun playing it. But those rough edges just make me feel like I'm not going to continue playing this game as an e-sport, as it were. It's not one that I keep coming back to and thinking, I'm just going to play a little bit of COD. It's something where it's a curiosity. It's fun just to blast through for maybe half an hour to an hour to work out some kinks in your fingers, but it doesn't really grab me as a title that is going to have the kind of life within the majority of the player base that COD has enjoyed previously. There's just not enough new here to really justify it. The COD faithful are going to lap it up, but for people who are a little bit more discerning in their shooters, they're going to find a game that feels quite thin actually once you boil it all down. If I was going to give Call of Duty Advanced Warfare's multiplayer a score, I think I'd give it around a 7. It doesn't feel as solid as the single player for some strange reason, but it certainly is a worthy entry into the Call of Duty franchise, and it almost wipes away the detestable smear that was Call of Duty Ghost multiplayer. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and Twitch, and to like and comment on these videos as well. We love to chat. You can also follow us on PlayStation Network, Steam and Xbox Live. Just search for Androidizen.